All 3 medals are available. By the way, if there are only 3 starters, then it would be reduced to 2. So Michael Brannigan closest to camera from East Northport in New York, and that's an excellent victory in the 1500 earlier this week. Fastest 2-mile high schooler, more about him later. Jose Azevedo didn't make the finish of the 1500 meters at the Europeans last year. 15:26.51, his lifetime best achieved this year. Thamer AHMED of Saudi Arabia's championship debut, turned 21 earlier this month. Daisuke NAKAGAWA of Japan, 10th in the 1500 final in 2011, and our new world 1500 meters champion Michael Brannigan of the USA, a senior at Long Island Northport High School. He's been So away we go. It's Michael Brannigan of the USA. Was once the Sports Illustrated High School Athlete of the Month quite recently. Daisuke NAKAGAWA of Japan, Thamer AHMED of Saudi Arabia, and Jose Azevedo of Portugal. They're the 4 in this final. World record 14:56 from Michał Walensky of Poland, set back in 1997. He's well aimed on the road to Rio right now, trying to be on the road to another gold medal.
And if it went down to personal best and what you looked at here, it'd be a race in 2 between NAKAGAWA and the man in first position there, Michael Brannigan, with Azevedo in there as well. But it doesn't always work out that way, and we've seen it at these championships as Michael Brannigan leads from the front. Azevedo in 2nd place, Ahmed in 3rd, and rounding off the field, NAKAGAWA of Japan, as they finish their first 400 meters in a rather slow time. So this, at some point, will quicken up. But with only 4 athletes in the field, it's a case of who's going to go first. And there's the answer. Azevedo has decided to quicken the pace already on the 2nd lap. He takes the lead now from Brannigan. Brannigan decides he wants to go back in front. So this could be very interesting indeed. A game of cat and mouse between Brannigan and Azevedo as they come past the finishing line right in front of us. It's Brannigan who leads. From Azevedo in 2nd. In 3rd place, it's Ahmed. And at the back of the field, in 4th and final place, NAKAGAWA of Japan.
Now Brannigan is the fastest lifetime best and season's best of the 4 competing in this, 14 minutes 42. Ahead of NAKAGAWA, who's a 15-17 man in his career, hasn't been able to match that this season. Azevedo, the 2nd in season's form, and already look at the gap that Brannigan's opened up, around 10 or 15 meters over Azevedo in 2nd place, with Ahmed of Saudi Arabia just being overtaken, dropped down into last place by the Japanese Daisuke NAKAGAWA. We've got relay semi-finals to come after this. It's the penultimate night's action, the new world record as well. We've got 9 laps to go meanwhile.
It's Michael Brannigan who leads at the moment from NAKAGAWA, who's worked his way up into 2nd position behind Brannigan, and dropping off the back of the field there. It's the Kenyan athlete, Thamer AHMED, who is at the back of the field. Azevedo in 3rd position, but at the moment it is a race in 2. Out in front, Brannigan of the United States, NAKAGAWA of Japan. They've opened up a gap of around 40 meters now from the 2 at the back. You do notice on the far side there, they are allowed to take on water in this men's 5,000 meters T20 event. as they do in the back straight, just that one position there. But Brannigan now out in front, and Nakagawa, who's with him in second place. They're really dropping the other two off the field. When they come around and take this lap over the finish line, they'll have 8 to go, so 3,200 metres will be remaining. They've gone through about 1,700 at the moment.
Well, these two very much out on their own. Movement all happening in the space of a lap realistically. Brannigan has 8 laps to go. He and Nakagawa tied together, first and second, then gap of around 50 metres back to third and fourth for Portugal. Jose Azevedo and then Thamer AHMED of Saudi Arabia. So 2 real jousts happening right now. 1 for gold and 1 for the bronze medal. Brannigan, good fluidity of style. Despite the diagnosis of autism, proven himself to be very, very fast. As stated, fastest American high schooler over 2 miles. Mile mark still holding big importance in American athletics. Brannigan holding the lead with Nakagawa in second place. Bit of a gap now developing behind them. Around 50 metres behind, you can see on his own in third place. Jose Azevedo's now opened up a significant margin over the Saudi Arabian Thamer AHMED, who's the slowest in the field. Lifetime best coming this year, Thamer AHMED, of 16:39, but it's the top 2 coming down the home straight. 7 laps to go, and it's Brannigan just ahead of Nakagawa. 3:07 for the first kilometre, 3:05 for the second, so they are marginally speeding up now.
What may be interesting as well is those water stops on the far side. We saw it in the T11 5,000 metres. Ode Santos decided not to take on water as he was going around. Both these two athletes at the front, they didn't take on water in the last lap. Be interesting to see whether they do it now, because that really told towards the ends of the T11 5,000 metres. Track and 6 laps to go. Michael Brannigan still leads. No change since we last went down to the track. Brannigan in front. Nakagawa in second place of Japan. Azevedo in third, but he is narrowing the gap. It's down to around 30 metres now. And way out the back is Jose Azevedo, who just goes across now for his 6 laps to go. But out the front, Brannigan in the lead. Nakagawa in second place. And here comes Azevedo. So we saw in the 5,000 T11, Ode Santos really struggle towards the last 120 metres in the 5,000. We see many athletes here struggle as they get to the end, maybe going out a little bit too quick in this Doha heat and humidity, especially the humidity in the evenings. You can see the sweat pouring off the athletes there. Brannigan in front, Nakagawa in second place, and Azevedo in the white shirt and green shorts in the background, coming through in third with 5 laps left of this 3,000 metres 5,000 metres T20 race.
Yeah, a lot of people may not have the appreciation of the humidity, because even if you step out of your hotel at midnight, you're talking about temperatures still of around 25 Celsius at the very least, and it's still very dense, very heavy feeling. 4.5 laps to go for our 2 leaders, and it's Brannigan still out in front with Nakagawa. Both men showing a good fluid style. Both turning down the offer of drinks so far. Azevedo of Portugal in third place always was turning his head away when the first effort was coming in. Well, they've slowed down quite considerably. 3 minutes 16 seconds for the third kilometre. And Nakagawa now almost coming up alongside Brannigan, and taking his position right behind him again. They pretty much kept the same pace throughout. It has slowed a little bit over that final kilometre. Azevedo now in third place. The gap between the top 2 and Azevedo is almost the entire home straight. It's around 60 metres. It's half a lap. Meanwhile, between Azevedo in third and Ahmed in fourth. And big move by Nakagawa to hit the front.
Well, Azevedo has just looked over there as he's come past in and just given the handshake to say he's in all sorts of trouble. So Azevedo of Portugal may not finish this race, but out in front, Nakagawa has made a bit of a break. He's now 5 meters or so ahead of Michael Brannigan. Brannigan, of course, won gold here over 1,500 meters, but the Japanese athlete Nakagawa has gone. Has he gone too early, though? That's the question.
They're about to lap our fourth placer, who is Thamer AHMED. Azevedo needing additional water, well, he's not turning down the offer now. Still hanging on in third place. Very much hanging on in terms of staying in the race. He's well ahead of the man in fourth. Oh, and what's happened to Brannigan? I think Brannigan's pulled up. Brannigan, who was in second place and battling for the gold medal. Oh, he's pulled up. Something horrible has happened to him. He's still stayed out in the track. But all of a sudden, Brannigan just seemed to break down. And that's a big, big lead now. There he goes.
And Azevedo has seen that, and all of a sudden he's quickened his pace. Jose Azevedo from Portugal, he's quickened his pace because he saw that Michael Brannigan has slowed down, but Brannigan has gone again. He's just needed a bit of a breather, and now he's taken off. But the gap at the moment is way out to about 50 meters, and we might have a withdrawal in a moment because Ahmed of Saudi Arabia on the far side is really struggling. He is almost at walking pace at the moment as he gets a drink going past there. But there is Michael Brannigan going past Ahmed there, and Brannigan now is at least 70 or 80 meters more than that, almost 100 meters behind, as Nakagawa really stretches out in front. When he comes around, he'll have 800 meters remaining in this men's 5,000 meters T20.
Well, the thought in Azevedo's mind, it certainly seemed to be at one point, will I keep going? And then suddenly when he saw Brannigan get into trouble, he must have started thinking, I could get maybe the silver medal here. 4 minutes for that fourth kilometer. They've slowed incredibly, and look at Brannigan here.
Brannigan actually went off the track then. He put his left foot on to the grass on the inside. So Brannigan is in all sorts of trouble here. Here comes Azevedo of Portugal. Brannigan's gone again, though.
2 laps to go. And we're in a situation right now where, well, we know who the 1, 2, 3 are, and there are big gaps between the 1, 2, 3. We're not sure if they are going to finish. I can tell you, by the way, the 4x400 relay, which was due to take place tonight, has now been moved to tomorrow, so there will be an earlier finish tonight to the men's 4x4. That's now gone. And Brannigan, look, he's down to a walking pace. He's got less than 2 laps to go. Well, I think maybe all he has to do is walk clear the gap between him and back in third place. Azevedo is now about 70 meters. It's all about survival for the 4 out on the track, and still the medals are not quite determined. Heading for the bell very shortly, leading for Japan. This is Nakagawa, and then way back on the final bend is Brannigan, who's still hanging on, and Azevedo is still there, also about 50 meters behind. But it's Nakagawa who leads for Japan. Brannigan in second place, Azevedo in third. Nakagawa looking very, very good comparatively. Brannigan gets the bell, that's given him a lift, and now he's shooting off again, trying to catch up with Nakagawa, who's at least 60, 70 meters ahead of him. And then Azevedo will take the bell now, and similarly, he's a further distance back. Probably actually 100 meters between first and second and third right now. It's the length of the back straight. Nakagawa with one last turn to take, and he will be home. Nakagawa finished 10th in the 1,500 meters in Christchurch in the World Championships, which is now almost 5 years ago, very early on in 2011. A few deep breaths. He is almost there. 60 meters to go, and Nakagawa will be world champion for Japan. Brannigan only passing the final bend now. Nakagawa. World record given there is 17:40. Nakagawa comes through 15:39.44, and Brannigan will come through in second place. Brannigan is in second, and he makes it 15:50.101. And Azevedo, all he has to do now is get over the line. Where's he going? I think he's going to pick up a Portuguese flag. He's waving to his colleagues in Portugal. Great reception for him from his friends. He doesn't need the flag just yet, but he will get a bronze medal, and he can celebrate after with the flag. Great moment in the life of Jose Azevedo. He didn't finish the 1500 final in the Europeans, but he's finished this, and it's a world bronze medal for Azevedo.
Great to see, isn't it? I did have concerns though as the athletes were going around there, Michael Brannigan especially, but he picked up again in the past couple of laps. But Thamer AHMED has still got 1 lap left to go. You hear the bell go. He thinks he's finished, but he's got 1 lap left to go.
Keep going. You've got another lap. Keep going, mate.
I don't think he realises that he has 1 more lap to go. Someone needs to tell him he's got 1 lap left.
Yeah, I think somebody is. Yeah. Anyway, Nakagawa's won 15:39.43. Azevedo's just come up and told him he has another lap.
Yeah.
I think Azevedo, yeah,
he's gone
off again. Quite right, quite right. He just miscounted. Everybody had lapped him, you see, and he came in past Azevedo, and Azevedo obviously told him 1 more lap.
Well, he's gone off so quick.
Wow, look at this. This is very good. This is 400 meters that he has left, and he's almost running it like a 400 meters race.
I'm a little bit concerned that he might fall in the heat when he gets around towards the end. I hope someone's put the clock on this, because he could break the world record for 400. Off he goes.
He's had 1,400 meters. He's had 4,600 meters, and now look at the final 4. Absolutely blistering it.
Well, there I think he's hit a bit of a wall as he's come around the end there, but this is great to see, isn't it? Fantastic to see as he goes across down to the last 100 metres. Brilliant finish by Thamer AHMED of Saudi Arabia. That is great to see. It's also great to see that Azevedo had gone up to him and said to him that he had 1 lap left to go, and he goes across the finishing line. He finishes in just over 18 minutes and 10 seconds, and well, he should put his hands in the air. He's done the Mo Farahs. Maybe he hasn't got the same medals as Mo, but he's finished and he's done a great job. Well done, Thamer AHMED.
It's been excellent stuff. That was an astonishing race. Just so much drama. Even though there were only 4 starters in it, it was all about, in the end, survival for everybody and getting over the finish line. Brannigan in very smooth control. 1,500 meters champion, but 5 is a totally different prospect, especially in this temperature and humidity, despite it being 8:30 in the evening. But Nakagawa then decided to go with around 4 laps to go, and Brannigan was not able to keep it going. But still, a silver medal for the man who is still only 18 and a fantastic prospect for American athletics. 14:42 is lifetime best. That not an IPC event. Nakagawa crossing the line. Great victory for the Japanese, who is probably, I think it's fair to say, the only athlete who looked comfortable all the way through, in that he never really suffered any major discomfort. Azevedo coming home in 3rd place. Nakagawa is our winner, 15:39.43. Brannigan the silver, 15:50.99, and Azevedo the bronze, 16:21.28. AHMED coming home in 4th.
Lovely shot of the moon, that.